What's up, people? It's your boy Sam with Small Couch Reviews. Wuthering Heights. I actually own this book. Never got around to reading it. Not that it really matters though for this movie, because I gotta tell you, as I was watching it, I kept thinking to myself, this seems a little too mature and definitely way too raunchy for a book I was supposed to have read in high school. So afterwards, I looked it up, and it turns out this movie is loosely inspired by the novel Wuthering Heights. So then I did a little bit more digging, read the book's Wikipedia page for its plot, and yeah, by loosely inspired, they mean barely inspired. This movie is nothing like the book. They borrow a couple characters' names and locations, and that's it. Outside of that, you can think of this as a completely original story. So sorry for those of you looking for a book adaptation. Now, the actual story of this movie, we follow a woman. Her name is Catherine. We meet her as a child. She can't be more than 13, 14 years old at this time. Her family is well to do. They're not super wealthy, but they have money, enough money to have servants around the house and all that stuff, right? One day, her father brings home this boy he had seen being mistreated out on the streets. They bring him back, and Catherine names him Heathcliff. Heathcliff and Catherine, they spend a lot of time with each other, learn to care about each other. Ultimately, they basically, have a childhood love that starts to blossom, right? The movie then jumps forward when they are both young adults now, and Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi take over as the main roles. Catherine's father is now a drunkard and a gambling addict who has gambled away all the family's fortunes. So, for the family's sake, for her sake, and for Heathcliff's sake, Catherine decides that she should marry their new wealthy neighbor that's just moved in across the way, even though she loves Heathcliff and Heathcliff loves her. This leads to Heathcliff just running away, leaving Catherine heartbroken from, losing her childhood friend and crush. And then eventually coming back many years later, now somehow wealthy and well to do, and ready to be the man that Catherine needs. So the movie basically takes off from there. I know I was talking a lot, but we then have this love triangle between Catherine, her husband, and her childhood crush that is Heathcliff. So as for sours, I'm just gonna say this story, like the story I just described to you, that is the movie. So if you're not really into this love triangle where it's really kind of one-sided because Catherine and Heathcliff really, really like each other, but Catherine just feels devoted to her husband. So that's where the conflict comes from. She doesn't really like her husband like she likes Heathcliff, but she feels she has this devotion to him. So that's where all the movie's conflict comes from. If you're not really going to be into a story like that, like this, their love story, you're not going to like this. I say that because a lot of people in my screening they were like, yeah, it didn't capture me. I didn't like it. So that's one thing I can say is how I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching this story unfold. So I personally, it's not a sour for me, but I do think it can be a sour for a lot of people. Outside of that, the only other thing I disliked in this movie is this person. Her name is Nellie. She is the absolute worst. Literally every bad thing that happens in this movie can be traced back to a decision that she makes. So I hate her. Now, that is kind of a double-edged sword because I only hate her because the actress portraying her did it so well. So I guess you could say that's a sweet and a sour. As for my sweets, man, we're going to start with the main star of this movie. And that is Jacob Elordi's glow up. When this man came back, bruh, he went from Deadwood to Bridgerton. Came back looking like the Count of Monte Cristo, and you just knew that he was on his game. But seriously, the wardrobe and the set design here, excellent. I really loved it. It really took me back to that period. I love the comedy. This movie is surprisingly funny. Every one of these characters is a bit eccentric in the way they act, and that leads to them having these quirks. Specifically, Margot Robbie's character, Catherine, and Alison Oliver's character, Isabella. Especially with Isabella. Bro, every time she was on screen, she did or said something that had the audience laughing. So I really appreciated her. Kudos to the movie for doing that. And I brought up the comedy first because this movie does have a lot of it's very serious at times. So movies that can, balance the tone well, I want to be able to give them credit for that. And those serious tones and themes, they really are generated by our two leads here. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, they have amazing chemistry, both comedic, sexually, everything, right? and you feel all of it. It's like Jovi says, it's like you're not watching people acting anymore. You're watching the characters and you're just enthralled in their world because they're so good at doing this. So you feel all the love and caring they have for each other that's turned into, jealousy and hatred and bitterness. Like this movie it's an emotional roller coaster, but it handles the ride very, very well. Like there are moments of just some extreme selfishness between these two where they are using other people to hurt each other or using other people to get each other's attention. This movie it does it in a way that makes you feel like they're doing this literally out of an act of love for each other rather than just the inherent terribleness of it, right? Like the best way I can describe it's like you're watching this relationship develop between two people should be together, and it's almost toxic, but doesn't cross that line. I mean, I'm not going to take too much time, man. I really enjoyed their performances. I enjoyed watching their love story developed. I enjoyed watching them, hurt each other, take it back, hurt each other, take it back as they're, trying to figure out how they can be in this world. Both of them have regret, both of them have sorrow, and it's all wrapped up in the love they have for each other. There's a line in the movie where one of them says, it's like our souls are not complete unless we're together. So I really liked it, man. I felt like it was a true love story, and it gives you the feels. Now, after all that praise, I am gonna say I don't think you need to rush out to go see this. It's definitely something you can wait to watch whenever you have a discount day in your local theater, or you can wait for it to come to streaming. I will say that. I'm going to say this one gets a 3.75 out of 5. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. It really helps out the channel. Appreciate you, and until next time, I'm out.